8 unbreakable NBA records that current players will break. In the NBA, we've read and heard about NBA records that are unfathomable. Teams won 33 straight games. The Golden State Warriors won 73 games in a season, while Bill Russell has 11 rings with one single team. NBA fans love to watch records being broken, and love to celebrate players who deserve recognition for outstanding careers. These records seem impossible to break, but if the right players come into the league, anything is possible. Keep watching to see the 8 unbreakable NBA records that current players or future players will finally break at some point in the NBA. 33-game win streak. On October 31st, 1971, the Los Angeles Lakers lost to the Golden State Warriors 109-105 to fall to 6-3. Then from November 5th, 1971 until January 9th, 1972, the Lakers didn't lose a single game. There was no lockout. There was no virus or disease. The Lakers made NBA history with their run of 33 straight victories. However, that streak came to an end in Milwaukee, as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar notched 39 points and 20 rebounds in a 120-104 Bucks win. To put the streak into perspective, the Lakers went 70 days before losing. The rest of the season, the Lakers went 30-10 to close out 1972 and won the NBA title. The Lakers had lost 8 previous finals trips before the championship victory. Since 1972, the 2012-2013 Heat came closest to breaking the Lakers' mark, winning 27 straight that season. With load management and star players not caring too much about the regular season, this record could be tough to compete with. We saw a Heat team come close with 27 straight wins. In the 2019-2020 season, the Milwaukee Bucks put together a season-high 18-game winning streak. They would have needed to double that to defeat the Lakers record. It's funny that we complain about less balance in the league when there's probably more balance than ever before. There's more talent on every team, and teams will always be on upset alert. We've seen that same Bucks team lose to the Phoenix Suns this season. Warriors 73 wins. The Golden State Warriors finished the 2015-2016 season with a 73-9 record, breaking the Chicago Bulls record with 72 wins when Michael Jordan was still in the league. Who else is still shocked that a single team could surpass the 1995-96 Chicago Bulls all-time record of 72 wins in a season? Golden State won its 73rd game of the campaign with a 125-104 victory over the Memphis Grizzlies. Think about it. There are so many roadblocks that stand in the way of winning around 50 games in a long NBA season. Instead, they won 73. The Warriors were able to overcome obstacles such as every team in the NBA, when there were injuries, uncertainties, and whatever else. To get the record-breaking 73rd win, Stephen Curry led the way with 46 points, 6 assists, and 10 made three-pointers. Draymond Green flirted with a triple-double with 11 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists, while Klay Thompson chipped in 16 points and 4 made three-pointers. Curry finished that season with a per-game average of 30.1 points, behind 50.4% shooting from the field, 45.4% shooting from three-point range, and 90.8% shooting from the free throw line. Curry, who was the defending most valuable player, drilled 3 consecutive shots from beyond the arc to open up a 27-16 lead in what seemed like the blink of an eye. He was already halfway to his total from long range in the first quarter, and was clearly on a mission to get that 73rd win. If any team is going to win 73 games, they'll need a consistent performance from their best player. Curry was that for the Warriors. This was the year before Durant was on the team. Curry scored 20 points and hit 6 threes in those opening 12 minutes alone, and seemingly had put the game out of reach. Curry had his 10 20-point quarters that season. And while the Warriors had unbelievable shooters, we should point out that the Warriors' passing might have been nearly as incredible. The chemistry was just unreal. Of course, going into the game, there was plenty of drama on who would win this game. Could the Warriors make history against the Grizzlies, or will they sleep and stay tied with the Bulls? It was over pretty quickly. Curry hit over 400 three-pointers that season. Nobody had even hit 300 threes prior to Curry's 400 three-point season. Steph had 16 games with 8 or more threes. No one else has had that many for a career. After the Warriors dominated the league, Golden State fell short of a championship to LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. It was still a historic season for the Warriors, who were able to lure in Kevin Durant from the Oklahoma City Thunder after the finals were over. Durant helped propel the Warriors to a couple of championships. Players were still happy with the result of the season as they reflected. In something of a testament to the doubt the Warriors received from older players this season, center Andrew Bogut said, "If anybody asks me anything in 20 years, I'm going to say everyone sucks," per Zach Harper of CBS Sports. Draymond Green was reflective of the team's process following the historic victory, per the Warriors. When you have the opportunity to go for something like this, you go for it. And that's what we did. Golden State coach Steve Kerr discussed his team's journey for the Warriors. I'm proud of the team for putting it all out there and laying it all out on the line through 82 games. The Warriors have had the most wins in a single season. Could this record be beat? Potentially. Any team will need a bunch of superstars to team up, a great amount of chemistry, along with no injuries to their star players and no load management. We'll see it happen again eventually, but it'll take some time. Jose Calderon's 98.1 free throw percentage. The former Toronto Raptors guard and Spaniard holds an honor in the league of his own. Jose Calderon is the record holder for highest free throw percentage in a single season, at 98.1%. During the 2008-2009 season, Calderon made an incredible 151 out of 154 free throw attempts. When he was in his finest groove, the Raptors point guard sunk 87 straight from the line. Some will argue that Calderon only played in 68 of the 82 regular season games that year. He had a career free throw percentage of 87.7%. Calderon gets the benefit of the doubt for this one. With guards practicing foul shooting daily, there's going to be a system shortly that will help foul shooters make shots more consistently from the line. You just have to believe that someone in the NBA will figure out how to make all of their foul shots at some point. One player will just have to get into a rhythm, but it's gotta be possible. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's 38,387 points. LeBron James is third on the list in total points in an NBA career. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar scored a career 38,387 points, and that was without the three-point ball. While James has plenty of three-point shots, he hasn't shot that well from long range throughout his career. James will also never get close to Jose Calderon's free throw percentage, as he has left plenty of potential points on the table from the line as well. This record that once seemed unbreakable is now within reach for LeBron. James is less than 4,732 points short of Abdul-Jabbar's total. Since being drafted in 2003, James has averaged roughly 2,000 points per season, which means in 2.5 seasons of average LeBron would push him ahead of Kareem. Even if we accounted for a dip in performance, James would still be in a good position. If he drops to 20 points per game, he could reach Abdul-Jabbar in a little over 3 seasons. Abdul-Jabbar scored 23.4 points per game in his age 38 season. You can expect LeBron to average around the same or even potentially more if he were to reach 38 and still be playing in the NBA. It's highly likely that he'll play into his 40s with the shape he's in. You can expect James to transition into a secondary scorer as he moves closer to 40. That's why he's got Anthony Davis to make things much easier. James remains an unstoppable force in the paint, but he has adapted to the modern game, shooting less mid-range jumpers and increasing his three-point attempts to a career-high 6.0 per game. Rasheed Wallace's 41 technicals in a season. Rasheed Wallace had 41 technical fouls in the 2000-2001 season. Of all the unbreakable records in sports, this one could be hard to beat. We're going to hope Draymond Green could beat this record at some point in his career. Just kidding, there's just no way. Wallace is known for being one of the craziest NBA players ever. The league had to change the technical foul rule in 2006. Now, once a player gets 16 technicals, he gets suspended 1 game without pay. After that, he is suspended 1 game without pay for each additional technical foul. No player will ever reach 41 techs with the new rule, and you can absolutely believe that. If someone was on Wallace's technical pace, they would literally run out of games to get technicals in. If a player got a technical in every other game like Wallace, he gets suspended by game number 32. That'd leave 50 regular season games to get 25 technicals, meaning he has to get a technical in every single game in which he is eligible to play for the rest of the year when you factor in suspensions. To be fair, it's technically possible, but whichever player did this would be losing out on a huge chunk of his salary, and would have to actually be trying to get the record. As long as the 16 technical rule is in place, Wallace's 41 will stand forever. No current player can break this one. Bill Russell's 11 championships. Bill Russell has more championship rings than fingers to wear them. He's at the top of the list with 11 titles after winning all of them with the Boston Celtics. Russell was the only player with all those 11 championship teams. Robert Horry and John Salley won championships with 3 different teams. Then in 2017-2018, 5 players joined the 3 championship club. The Warriors players who joined were Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, Shaun Livingston, and Klay Thompson. Patrick McCaw did the same in 2018-2019. The only other active players with 3 titles are LeBron James and Udonis Haslem. This is another hard record to break. Not even Tom Brady could do this with the Patriots in the NFL. With every player moving to different teams, it's going to be increasingly impossible for players to get to this feat. Players like Kawhi Leonard and Kevin Durant, who leave teams after winning championships, are the reason why we'll never see athletes achieve the 11 championships mark. With star players teaming up, there will always be lots of competitiveness in the playoffs, and quite frankly, only teams and players that stick together will have a shot. Look at Curry, Thompson, and Green. These 3 players were all drafted by the Warriors, and won with the Warriors. That's the only way any player will be able to break this kind of record. Wilt Chamberlain's 50.4 points per game season average. Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50.4 points per game, 25.7 rebounds per game, and 2.4 assists per game. Let that sink in. He had 50.4 points per game. To put that into perspective, Steph Curry would have to average about 7 more threes per game to match Wilt's 50 that season. LeBron would have had to double his average scoring output to get on Wilt's level. Does anyone remember Kobe Bryant's highest scoring season? In 2005-2006, he put up 35.4 points per game and of course dropped 81 against the Raptors. Kobe would have needed about 15 more 81-point games to average 50 points per game. Wilt was putting up NBA 2K numbers in the league. He had 45 games where he topped 50 points. He had 15 games with 60-plus points. His low outing of the year was a woeful 26-point showing, and that took place against defensive genius and 11-time champion Bill Russell and the Celtics. Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game. Of course, Chamberlain famously set the NBA's all-time single-game scoring record that season. It occurred on December 8, 1961, when he scored 78 against the Los Angeles Lakers. A month or so later was Wilt's 100-point masterpiece. That game was only witnessed by about 4,000 fans since the NBA was still struggling to gain traction in its early days. Wilt played 48 minutes and also grabbed 25 rebounds that night. All anyone remembers in that game was the magical and round number of 100. The picture was captured by a photographer during a post-game interview with Chamberlain holding up a handwritten 100 on a piece of paper. This was part of Wilt's 1961-1962 50.1 points per game season, and on that night, he actually doubled that output. We've seen Kobe reach 81, and we've seen other stars get close to Kobe's game against the Raptors. Yet in the NBA, we've never seen anyone close to Wilt's 100 points. If any player is going to reach Wilt's 100-point game, they're going to have to be ridiculous from downtown all 4 quarters. They'll need James Harden volume and Ray Allen precision to get there. If the NBA ever welcomes that monster into the NBA, records will be broken, championships will be won, and the NBA will crown the best player to ever play in the NBA. That would be fun. We know any fan would welcome a player like that on their team in a draft.